Hi guys, I'm pretty excited to make another video. This topic is going to be about the F chord. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do as you learn the F chord. The F chord, I kind of hide it from my students until the time is right because I don't want them to kind of get really frustrated, but you don't want to hide it for too long. Alright. And when I teach, I think about like if I was teaching my best friend or, a family member or a little kid or somebody, or anybody, I really care. So I'm going to try to give you my very best information about learning an F chord in a way that doesn't make you really frustrated. So this is what I would say. First thing, just play your first string open, high E. And hear that E. Now go to the first fret on that same string and make an F note. I know that seems pretty simple, but sometimes my students, they'll move forward and they'll kind of forget this stuff, that it all comes back to simple notes. So, before you do anything, just get used to going from E to F. Sometimes we'll get that F to sound like, we're just not getting the sound, so we have to make sure the sound is there. I realize this is kind of ridiculous, but this is what I see every day is people forget this stuff. Alright, make sure you can find that F. Now let's do the same thing on the 6th string. E. And that's going to be F on the 1st fret, which is kind of satisfying to get that nice deep bass sound. F. Which really sounds pretty cool. Let me do a fun thing here. Check this out. That's pretty cool, man. I know it's simple, but I don't see people play that every day. So just finding your F notes is a good start. Alright. So if you had to play an F chord, this is how I teach people, is start with this chord right here. F major 7, which is like a 3-2-1 for tablature. I'm on 4th string, 3rd fret F with my ring finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret A, my middle, 1st fret, 2nd string with my index, that's a C note, so we got F, A, C. That's all you need for an F chord, 3 notes, F, A, C. It could be like this, or any combination of F, A, C, you've got an F chord. But on this one I'm going to include a high E, which makes it F major 7, because E is the 7th note of an F major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is E. It's easy. Alright, even that can be difficult. But that's one way to start, having some success with an F chord. Let's do it a little different way. Try the 6th string, 1st fret again with your index finger, F. Next, let's bring in the ring finger to the 5th string, 3rd fret, C. Sounds a little out of tune. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to check my tuning, but make sure you've got that simple shape perfect. And I'll make sure I'm partially tuned. There we go. So that is a really thumping F chord. It's called a power chord. if that's too far to reach with your ring finger, you got to work on stretching out your hand, but you can bring in pinky for a second. So these have to be pretty instantaneous. If you got to have that rock and roll energy, you know, to be able to dig in and hit that chord. Cool. All right, make sure you got that. Now you got two Fs, the F major 7 and this big thumping F power chord. Those could get you through a lot of situations. You're pretty well equipped with F, but of course there's always something else. Let's do something else that's reasonably easy. Let's go index, ring, pinky. That's going to be an F, C, and an F. So that's a power chord because there's no A in it. It's just the root and the fifth. Let's check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you go up an F major scale, F, G, A, B flat, C, that's the fifth note in the scale. That's why we call it the fifth. Power chord F5. Add your pinky. Now you got 3 notes. Just a little bigger sound. So we've got 3 F chords we're having success with. F major 7, this F5, and this F5. So take your time, learn those, do whatever it takes to get those under control. Let's go back to that first F chord over here, F major 7. What I'm going to try to get you to do is lay your index finger flat on the first 2 strings. That's really flat. Sometimes people will lay their finger on the side, you know, or at a weird angle, but it should be pretty much parallel with the fret on the flat side of your index finger, which is a really handy sound for like, you know, Chuck Berry. Style lead guitar. All right, get that shape down, which is actually another F5. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 kinds of F chords. And these are all, we're going to put them all together eventually, but, you know, just take it one step at a time. We've got 4 F chords here. All right, let's add the middle finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret, A. This one cannot lay flat. This has to be arched, and that's the big problem my students come up with, is the combination of flat and curled. So your middle finger is going to be curled on the tip of that A. Let's just check that A note individually. Make sure that's working, and you're on your tip. Now when we bring in the index finger flat, that's when this middle finger might follow it and want to lay flat. That's what you got to work on, is getting those 3 notes. Oh boy. Make sure those 3 notes can sound out. And if you have a terrible problem with any of these, just skip it and go to the next one. Let's go to the next one, which is like this. That's F, A, C, F. F, A, C, F. 4th string, 3rd fret, F. Middle finger, 2nd fret, A. 3rd string, 1st finger lays flat on the C and the F like we had before. That's the kind of F I was taught on about my 3rd or 4th guitar lesson. And I'm like, you're crazy. I'm not doing that. I went home. Oh, my mom said, how was your lesson? I'm like, fine. Went to my room, closed the door, and sat there. You know. Ow, it hurts, you know. All right. If you got that far, you're doing pretty good, because we're going to combine that with that big F power chord. Plus this, add them together, There it is. So that's what I try to hide from my students. But when it's time, it's time. So remember, your index finger has to be super crazy straight. Like straight. And the reason I make a dramatic pause is often my students will come on, like, they're like, yeah, man, I got it. And then they come on here and then it's like all curled. I'm like, you gotta, keep it straight, keep it straight, keep it straight. Oh, it bends and then it's just a mess. So you gotta kind of roll your arm out a little bit. Your elbow shooting way out there. Then you can come on straight. Thumb on the back. Okay, let me show you something. There's got to be some space in here. See that space between the thumb and index and the palm of your hand? Make sure there's a little space in there, because if you're all crunched up, it might fail. All right, you got a chance. So you can work on just getting that index on straight. Then these three fingers are going to form a perfect little E shape, just like an E here. And you give it a whack, and you might be good. All right, that's one of the many F chords. I got one more. But wait, there's more. Check this out. This is how I do them a lot. I'll let my thumb hang over the top, grab that fat string, and grab this E shape, and have my index hit either second string or second and first string. And you can see that my guitar is worn out on that little corner from my thumb. Pressing down right there. It's worn the finish right off. You see all the wear on this poor guitar. That's a real relic. So I'll use that shape and like. That's really comfortable for me, letting the thumb hang over the. But you can also flip it over, to that. That's your options, really. All right, so if you can have success with a few of those shapes, eventually they're all going to combine to make the big giant monster F chord, which you don't always need that full shape. A lot of times all you need is that little power chord, or this little guy, or maybe here's another one. If you don't want to mess with the two outer strings, you can just make an F, the C, A, C, F, and mute the outer strings. The bummer is if you hit those outer strings, it's a little wobbly sounding. So you might mute that fat string with the side of your thumb. I'm not pressing down, I'm just muting the fat string with my thumb. So those are a few options for the F. And I apologize if that was a totally weird video. It was fun to make. It was fun to think about. I'm just trying to help out a couple of buddies out there that are struggling with the F. Let me just give you one final word of encouragement. This is here the frets are the widest for spacing. Plus, there's more tension here by the nut. If you try to press the string here, it's pretty tight. Up here, it's a lot looser. So if you move that up, the frets are closer together and the strings are looser. The tension on the string is easier. So after you've got that, just do the best you can. Then just try it going up the neck. F sharp, G, and you might just start getting it. G sharp, A sharp. B is a good one at the 7th fret. So just haul it up the neck and try it there. And C, C sharp. Then it starts getting way small. D is a little D sharp, and the E on an acoustic is just like, you know, I can't quite get it up there. But you get the idea. It's a shape. And if it drives you crazy, just walk away, relax, stretch your fingers, get a little cup of coffee, get a little drink, do some other stuff, and come back to it. If you keep assaulting this shape, eventually the walls will crumble and you'll have it. So don't get discouraged. Just have fun. It's just a game. You're going to win. You're going to get there. Don't let that F bully you around. Just keep picking at it, and eventually it will crumble and you'll have it. So there you go. But man, this thing is getting beat to shreds. All right, have a good one. I'll see you soon. Leave me a comment and let me know how your F is treating you. Thank you. Bye.